I have a feeling this might have been a question, but in the context, I'll call it a proposition. Tribalism is only useful today if it generates adults. No more students, fans, patriots, religious zealots, believers in specialness because of PhDs per capita or Olympic medals in ping pong. Ruth Weiss said a few years ago, and I read recently, that liberals in America, Jewish liberals, destroyed the novel Fiddler on the Roof when they allowed Tevye to forgive his daughter for marrying her Polish soldier in the play. Quote, they had betrayed the Jewish people, end quote, she said. When I read this recently, I felt a flush of intense admiration. And then as quickly I thought, you will always be at war with the rest. I feel this way by accident, and I'm exploring why. But when someone says, how do you feel? I usually admit I don't feel that. A woman raged on Instagram yesterday. How would you feel if you were ill and your nurse didn't look like you or speak your language as their first? I answered, I have no idea. I don't imagine Asian nurses or African nurses are my enemies. I'm grateful. Our monotheisms, all three, with their infinite infighting sects, like to imagine us children of God, and there might be in that eternal kindergarten an adult or two. I have encountered these adults and not yet found an adult. Respected elders, perhaps, but respected by who? They keep themselves hermetic and very masculine as they fashion it. This is the way of us. White people like me have a hard time, are having a hard time as our heroes are torn down. Our statues of Robert E. Lees and Churchills and our Jeffersons. These are our patriarchs. And in my world, my own world, I have discovered they can take off their wings. I don't need heroes. If you do, and I did when I was 15, if you need them, they will show. Years ago, a young Irish-American fellow in some trouble got frustrated with me and shouted, "You have an identity. You're an Armenian. You were killed genocidally by the Turks, your people." It took me more than a minute before I realized, oh, I see. No, I don't make myself of that. It's not my identity. My identity is not my grievance. I'm a quarter Armenian. I have a wonderful full Armenian friend in some trouble because she cannot arrive at herself. She knows this. A very brave woman abroad who comes from a culture that doesn't offer selfhood or self-realization as an option. It must be comforting, I guess, but I suggest the greatest human imperative is individuation, not individuality, not tribe, and most certainly not a monotheist tribe. I feel this in all three, the values of all three: family, patriarchy, religiously rooted laws, universal misogyny barely moved past, and lastly, the satanic notion that out there in the hinterland there is some ungodly Grendel waiting to kill, or worse, convince your young to join him. Just does not allow us to mature and marry the Catholic Polish boy or the other way round. We are human animals. My culture, my own, and religion, none of your business, does not allow me that kind of identity. There is another world elsewhere, and this one, heroic and victimized, moment to moment, this savage self we must feel is no self at all. You cannot self-determine as a group. It is an oxymoron. And it makes forever wars.